Let's talk more about the Athletics. A guy that played 4 years for the A's, Tony Kemp, joins us now on the National Pregame Show. Tony, good to see you. A Vanderbilt Hall of Famer, is that right?
I appreciate it. What's going on, guys? Harold, Greg, what's going on?
When did they put you in the Hall of Fame?
Tony.
Yeah, when did Vandy put you in the Hall of Fame, man?
I got inducted 2 months ago, so it was a tremendous honor. Vandy all the way. It's a blessing to be associated with that university for the rest of my life, for sure.
That's pretty cool. And you know, look,
great,
your
Tony.
best seasons were with the Athletics. You're associated with this franchise. What did you make of Jeffrey Springs? I think an overlooked arm dominating the New York Yankees.
Yeah, I got to talk to Springs last year a little bit when I was doing some broadcasting with the A's, and I think he's a veteran presence that knows what he's doing. I mean, you guys saw what he did today. His off speed is amazing. Harold, you kind of touched on it. He kind of jumped at you a little crossbody from the lefty. I faced him time today. He had everything working, and he's one of those guys. If I'm a young pitcher on that staff, I'm definitely talking to Jeffrey Springs, asking him what's his routine going into each start.
Hey, Tony, and we touched on it with Detroit a little bit, where I was saying, you know, when you play a lot of different guys, a lot of different positions, it's tough to get them in the flow. You were that guy that played all over the field. Did it take you a little bit in the beginning of the year to get into the rhythm? And do you think that's affecting a lot of big leaguers right now?
Yeah, I think right now, and, you know, we're going to touch on this here in a second, but I think for a lot of guys who had a lot of success last year, coming into this year, I mean, you know how the big leagues goes. Once that book's out on you, teams can figure out how to get you out. But, you know, I think for the Tigers right now, Hinch and those guys are still trying to figure out which lineup works. You know, McGonigal, I mean, obviously he's been playing pretty decent. I mean, you saw what he did out in San Diego. But for right now, when you're going through 1 through 9, I mean, these guys haven't even played 15 games yet. So going up and down in a lineup is tough when you're not getting your routine. Knowing, hey, if the third out is in the third inning and I'm running in from left field, you know, when is my spot in the lineup? So these guys are still getting used to it. They're coming off spring training and trying to get in the swing of things.
And I have an answer for this, but I want to ask you the question. Like teams, for the Yankees started in San Francisco. So they came from the West Coast back to the cold weather. The A's play in Sacramento. They come out to the cold weather. The one thing I always struggle with, you don't get your ground balls, you don't get your routine because you're indoors because it's freezing cold, and you don't get in the flow. I think that's affecting the start of a lot of these clubs that aren't playing quite well. Did you ever find it that way for you?
You know, I think for myself, I had to always earn those starts, man. So I was out in the cold. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if it was negative degrees. I'm out there getting ground balls. I'm out there getting those fungos because you never know when your name's going to get called. And, you know, to be able to have a successful career like mine as a utility player, you always have to be ready. And I was blessed to not have any injuries in my career. So, yeah, for some of those guys, I mean, going from East Coast to West Coast, you have to understand the time change as well. Going from Pacific Coast time to East Coast time, to different time zones, and you're still trying to find your routine. And when it's cold, nobody wants to go out there and do the dirty work. So I understand what it's like, but, you know, for me, I need to make sure, hey, if I go and get my ground balls, and just in case if I make an error in that game, hey, I was out there getting my ground ball, so it doesn't matter.
Getting your work in.
Yeah, yeah. All right, listen, we have you on to talk about the Athletics. Nick Kurtz is not hitting fastballs. And it's so weird to me because he was mashing the heater last year. You talk about the opposition gets the book out on a certain player in their second season. How in the world is that the book? Because if you look at these numbers here, Tony, against fastballs, he mashed 333, 22 home runs. Look what he's doing against the heater right now. How would you explain this drop-off against fastballs?
You know, I think for Nick right now, you know, what an unbelievable rookie year he had last year. When I've been watching some of the games for him, if you go to his baseball savant, as far as fastballs are concerned, what teams are doing right now is they're going at the bottom of the zone with off speed, and then off that plane, they're going fastballs at the bottom of the zone. So for him right now, they're kind of pitching in that same zone. And for last year, he was able to get heaters at least belt high. And, you know, hey, if this guy makes a mistake, Nick Kurtz is going to put some damage on it. So I think for right now, you know, there's no time right now to hit the panic button. I think this guy, you know, he's still taking his walks. I mean, his average exit velocity is 96, 97 miles an hour. So he's still hitting balls hard. But I think for Nick right now, there's no time. to hit the panic button. I mean, you know, like I said, we're not even 15 games to the season, but like I said, that book does get out on some guys, and when they come around, these pitchers are good enough to put the pitchers they want in what location they want.
Hey, Tony, maybe I wasn't watching 2025, but I didn't notice Nick Kurtz leading off a whole lot. He did it maybe occasionally. I can't stand it. And I'm just sitting here going, what are we doing? This guy is a guy that's going to hit you 40 home runs. So you've led off, I've led off. You see things differently as a leadoff hitter. I'm going to show you the suggestion I have when the A's face a right-hander, because for some reason when he hits second, he's facing a lefty. And then here we are. This is the lineup I would roll out there against a right-handed pitcher. I want Wilson at the top, McNeil, who can handle the bat for you, Kurtz in the 3 spot. I'm sitting there. Langeliers to protect him. Rooker behind him. Now Rooker's injured, so we'll see what happens there. Soderstrom, Butler, Max Muncy, and Denzel Clark. That's my normal 9 guys that play for the A's. That's how I'd run that lineup. That's my take. I want to hear what you think about mine, and then I'm going to ask you to do your own.
Well, you know what's beautiful about what you did about your own and what you're about to see about mine is I think we're biased in having those leadoff hitters, those contact guys at the top of the lineup, as in Wilson, as in McNeil, who's been a 2-time All-Star, who's been a batting title champion, you know, and Wilson is coming off of. So
look at Tony. Okay, you flipped Shea and Nick. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah,
you take it.
Nick. But I think we have the same idea in the fact that we're going to put Wilson, we're going to put McNeil at the top of the lineup. These guys are proven guys so far in the big leagues. And, you know, right now I have Cortez as kind of a second leadoff right now in right field. He hit 300 against righties last year. And, you know, right now I would say, you know, on this lineup, once Denzel Clark starts to figure out how to put the ball in play a little bit more and he starts to come into his own, I mean, you see what he did last year with his outs above average. I mean, he's one of those guys that you're going to need to have for your best defensive alignment. Denzel Clark's going to have to be in center field. I mean, he already robbed a home run this year already. So I think right now I would put Cortez in right, but I think your best defensive lineup is with Denzel in center field. But yeah, I think at the top of the lineup right now, I think I like Wilson McNeil. I think we both felt the same that way.
See, I knew we had something in common. I knew why I love this Tony Kemp, man.
And you both had mad respect for Shea Langeliers, off to a great start. Is there a chance, Tony, at the end of this season, the best player for the A's is Shea Langeliers and maybe not Nick Kurtz or Jacob Wilson?
Yeah, I mean, Shea has been such a tremendous player ever since he came into the league. I was able to be there for his MLB debut when we were playing against the Rangers. And I know that the A's have locked up so many players right now, but catching, it's such a hard job. They do a catcher's job. And to see what Shea does, handling the staff, hitting grand slams, and the best part about Shea Langeliers, too, is off the field, what he does in the locker room. You wouldn't tell that this guy is handling his staff, and you wouldn't tell that, you know, he's mashing balls. He's one of the nicest teammates I've ever had. And at the end of the year, he might look up in the A's and he might be the best player. And I know that the A's have locked up a lot of guys, but you know, once Shea is going through arbitration right now, it's going to be a conversation of, hey, we're going to have to keep Shea around.
We don't have to keep Tony Kemp around. You done messed up, Tony. See, Greg is really good at coming up with different things. We may have Kemp's Corner like once a week with you, man. I mean, that's
the sound of that.
Wow. Way to go, Tony. Great job, bro.
Excellent. Really good. Before I let you go, are the A's a playoff team? End of the year, will they be playing October baseball?
The A's are going to sneak into the playoffs.
Whoa!
I love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Willing to say some stuff, and I put him on the hot seat, and he answered it. Unlike you, when I go, "Who's the best player in the Angels?"
Oh, I don't know.
And he walks away.
I don't know.
That's what he does. Tony, great job, man. Tony Kemp with us on the National Pregame Show. We're going to step aside.
Great job, Tony.